All right, what's going on? We're back in the gear room here, getting ready to get packed up for the trip that I'm leaving on tomorrow morning. Plan is to be on the road from Knoxville by like 5 a.m. tentatively. So just kind of getting ready the afternoon before. It's like 4 o'clock. Just figured I'd go ahead and start packing. So this trip's going to be really cool. Originally, we were planning on starting at Kuohi, taking the AT over to Hazel Creek, all the way down, one-way hike, stay at Bone Valley, and then take the rest of the way out towards Proctor, and then get a boat shuttle out of there. But Joey's truck broke down, and just a couple other logistical errors came up, so we're pulling an audible, and tomorrow we're going to be doing a loop between Forney Creek and Forney Ridge from Kuohi. So the first day is going to be about 10-11 miles down to campsite 71. We're going to stay the night there. And then the second day we've got like a solid 5,000 foot gain, 10-mile day back up over Andrews Bald and back to our car. So it's going to be a pretty big trip. I haven't done a trip this long this year yet. So I figured it'd be a really good time to break out my ultralight kit and just kind of show how I pack that. So generally speaking, there's really not too many differences. None of my gear is very heavy to begin with, so when I do pack ultralight, it's just going to be bringing less stuff essentially. So I'll kind of show you what essentials I still bring and what I don't bring. The only major gear change that I would do is just my pack, which it'll be my first time using this pack. I just bought it. I've gone through a couple different ultralight options in terms of packs, and I haven't really found anything I love. I tried the Durst and Kakwa for a while, and I liked the idea of that pack. It just, some things, I mean, no matter what it is, from a t-shirt to a backpack to anything, sometimes you just put it on and it's just not a good fit for your body. It just doesn't work for you. And that's kind of how it was for me with the Durston. I love everything else that they make, but the pack just didn't do it for me. So what I got on sale recently is this new REI Flash Air 50. It's in the sub 2 pound class, which is a heck of a lot lighter than my Osprey that I normally use. So I'm going to be testing this thing out for the first time on this trip this weekend. So we'll see how that goes, but that's really the only major thing I'm going to swap out. I also have a lighter quilt that I'm going to bring because it's going to be pretty warm. Even we're only camping, I think it's at like 2,400 feet, so it shouldn't be too chilly up there. So I'm bringing my 40-degree quilt, which is super light. So I'm going to start the packing process here, and I'll kind of bring you along with me. Alright, so just opening up my pack here. The pack is really nice. It's got a frame, which I like. And it seems to be really spacious for what it is. It's got a huge front shove-it compartment, which is, it seems like this is a really popular ultralight format right now. Just doing the roll top with a big main compartment, huge front pocket, and then that's really about it. So the first thing I'm going to put in here is my quilt. So this is my Enlightened Equipment 50 degree. I've got in the Smokies, I feel like so far having a 50 degree a 10 degree and a 40 degree has worked out well for me. So here it is. It's the Enlightened Equipment. This is a 40 degree. I think I might have said 50. 40 degree down quilt. So this thing packs down into nothing and weighs nothing as well. So I'll get that stuffed in its sack and we'll get on to the next thing here. Alright, so there's the quilt. Packs down into very little, and I mean, this thing doesn't weigh anything. So I'm just gonna put that at the bottom of my bag. And then on top of that will go my sleeping pad here. Still rocking with the same sleeping pad I always do. That's standard part, so that'll go in next. After that, we'll have a couple more of my essentials. Packing this stuff in here. We got my pillow. I'm gonna take that no matter what. Just like it too much. And then on top of all that, I'll put my my pride and joy, the Durston X Mid 2, is going in there on top of that. Okay, so next up into the pack is going to be my clothing, which on a trip like this, I'm literally just going to bring a change of clothes for camp. This is just one night, so I'm going to bring a change of underwear and then my most comfortable t-shirt and shorts that I have just to kind of sleep in. So that all just goes in this stuff sack and I kind of pack it down. I don't really ever feel the need to bring extra socks. I don't really ever feel the need to, you know, to bring a change of clothes to hike in day 2. It's all going to be sweaty and gross regardless. So unless you like to sleep with socks, which I don't, then there's really no need. So clothes are going to go in here. Still kind of trying to keep all that heavy stuff towards the middle. That's pretty basic. So doing it that way. Next to go in is going to be my cook pot. I usually put this towards the bottom of the middle just because there's usually enough space for it, and it's one of my heavier items, so there's a good spot for it there, kind of wedged in. So yeah, that's a sleep system, cooking, and clothes all packed together. Next up is going to kind of be my electronics, first aid, and hygiene here. I have these 3 little bags that contain all of that stuff. So it's got all my inside here. I think I went through it last time. My headlamp, my charging cord, my portable charger, all that good stuff. So it's just this nice little roll top dry bag, just to really make sure that everything stays, you know, nice and dry if I do get dumped on. So it's really good for that. And then my hygiene and my first aid are just inside these little zipper pouches. So those just kind of get thrown in there. First aid I'm actually going to keep on the outside here just in case we need to access it. So first aid goes on the outside, everything else just kind of goes in the inside. We're starting to get towards the top there. In addition to that, I also have my little fire kit. This is just a zipper bag. It's got fire starter and a lighter, so that's very simple. That's just going to go somewhere in here in the main compartment, so find a place for that. Oh, and I also need my tent stakes, which those are going to go in the front pocket just for easy access once I get to camp, so I can kind of set my tent up first. Also on top of the pack is going to be my water filter, and that'll be, if we need to get water on trail or something like that, it's nice to have this accessible. And actually, instead of the top, I'm just going to put it in the front pocket here as well, just so we can easily access it if we need to. I've got a rain cover as well. This one didn't come with a rain cover. It is like water resistant, but it's not waterproof, so I have an additional rain cover that I just had laying around that I'm gonna bring as well. Rain cover totally not necessary if you want to use a pack liner or some kind of trash bag or something on the inside of your pack. I just don't have any right now that aren't like full-size kitchen bags, so I'm just gonna opt for the pack liner, or sorry, the rain cover for this time. So other than that, we're about done. This is kind of the rest of my essentials box. So you can see some of the stuff I'm leaving behind that I would normally bring are like my knife and my saw. Use this stuff for like firewood processing, especially on multi-day trips. It's nice. Then we got a few more things to pack in here, and then obviously we're gonna do food, which is a big segment. So I'll kind of get all that together and we'll talk in a minute. All right, so just kind of the last of the other items I'm gonna be bringing on this trip. Typically, I'm kind of 50-50 on my camp shoes, but there's going to be a really nice stream near where we're at. So I'm going to bring these just so I can kind of move around in the water a little better. So I'm going to put those in my front pocket here. Again, typically not going to be a part of my ultralight kit, but I think they will be worth it to have. So I'm going to bring those along, as well as my trowel and my toilet paper are going to also kind of go in this front pocket here. Just stuff them in there where there's room. So those will be good in there. I'm going to bring my Garmin InReach Mini, which I'll just clip on to the front here just for communication with my wife and my family, as well as this little digital camera is going to go in the front pocket of my backpack here, so I can take some cool digital pictures along the way. I've really been enjoying that thing. Got it as a wedding gift. Thank you, Draven and Lauren. And it takes some really cool pictures. Something else I'm going to bring, just because I love it, my speaker, my little tiny JBL Go 4. Really nice speaker to just bring along, super lightweight. And I just love having some music back there. I like the nature sounds too, but you know, it's nice nice to have some tunes around the campfire. So now we're gonna get into the food part of things. So let me kind of get all that put together, and we'll pack that up together. So just 1 second. I did just want to do like a little pack weight before I put my food and water in, so we can kind of get an idea of my base weight. So I'll load that up on the old fishing scale here. Looks like we're coming in right now at 12 pounds and 12 ounces. So that's pretty solid. It's definitely not like true ultralight. There's definitely a few things in here that I could, you know, shed and not carry quite as much, but I think that's a really good weight for the kind of trip that we're going on. Usually I'm somewhere around, like, I think for Gregory Bald last weekend, I was somewhere around like 30 pounds. So that's a little much. So yeah, anyway, back to the food. Okay, now for the food I'm gonna be bringing. If you've hiked with me before, you know I eat a lot on the trail. So let's get this started. Firstly, my spork goes in the little slot in my food bag here. Just keep things organized. So in terms of meals on this trip, I'm bringing another one of these buffalo mac and cheeses. It's like my new favorite dehydrated meal for sure. It's so good. I don't need to worry about adding any sauce or anything to it. It just tastes good straight out of the bag. And I'm also bringing a breakfast skillet for breakfast before we leave. On top of that, got a lot of snacks to bring. Gonna bring some sour gummy bears, bag of those. I'm gonna bring, I need to put I always bring a gallon Ziploc just as a trash bag too, so I'll stick that in there. I've got a Snickers bar and a Hershey's bar. I've got like 5 of these little Slim Jims, which are really good. 2 cans of Pringles. These aren't ideal volume-wise, but they don't weigh much, and I love chips, and it's hard to get chips on the trail, so Pringle cans it is. Then I've got 2 of these little cracker packs. These are really nice and compact. We'll just put one of these in my hip belt, and then I'll put one in here. And I kind of eat those like when I'm hiking, just because they're quick and easy. 2 little bags of Goldfish, bag of Cheez-Its, one of these little root beer drink mix packets. These are really good. And then a little bottle of hot sauce for my breakfast skillet. So yeah, that's the food bag. That's pretty much all the food I'll eat. Just in the one night. It's a little more than I normally bring just because we're doing so much hiking, but food is packed and ready to go in the bag. I'll get this thing ready to go, and we'll show off like the final full package. So talk to you in a second. All right, we're all loaded up here. Got the whole pack set up here. It's feeling really good. I just weighed it. So total pack weight for tomorrow is going to be just over 17 pounds, which I don't think that's too bad. Pretty lightweight. I really like this pack. I mean, just this alone is saving me a couple pounds, but that's what she looks like. It's got a really nice kind of water bottle storage thing there. So yeah, we're locked and loaded. I don't think I need to add anything else. I think we're ready to go for the morning. So just gonna enjoy my evening, and I will see you pretty freaking early up on top of Kawohi, or on the way there, whatever I decide to do. So yeah, see you in a little bit. Alrighty, we've made it up to Klingman's Dome, Kawohi. Got some pretty good views this morning. Lots of nice, it's very cloudy. When we first got here, it was a little more open, but it's clouded up a little bit. I think Connor and Brad are over here getting a better view. So we're here. It's a little later than we wanted. It's right at 8 o'clock. We ended up leaving Knoxville right about 6 with a stop at Buc-ee's for breakfast, but we made a pretty good time getting over here. But it's really pretty this morning. Not as cool as I was expecting it to be. It feels great right now. I think it's like low 60s, but yeah, Connor and Brad are over here. I mean, man, the sun coming through the cloud is just beautiful. It's otherworldly up here. It always is, especially in the mornings. So we're gonna get trekking here. We've got, I think, right at about 11 and a half, 12 miles to do today. All gonna be downhill, so it should be pretty easy. By the time we get to camp, I'm guessing it'll be a little afternoon. But we're excited. Let's just see how these guys are feeling. How we feeling, boys?
Excellent. The views over there are next level.
Are they good? I don't feel like walking over there right now.
That's all right. We got a lot of walking to do.
Yeah, we do. Well, we're gonna get strapped in and I'll check in once we're on the trail.
Word.
Yeah,
We've got kayaks.
Yeah, that would be super nice.
We've got kayaks. I would love nothing more than to do a river float because I've been really wanting to do it these last few weeks and I just haven't gotten to it.
It's just hard to do. Like, you want to do it after work, and just where my hours. It's probably better for me to do it early, just because my schedule. I try to work off West Coast time. I definitely can do it after work. I just gotta like plan it out a little bit.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I'm gonna be out a little bit early.
You think, man?
All right, checking in. We're on trail. We're kind of out of all the high elevation stuff now. We're probably sitting just below 5,000 feet. I think we're probably a little less than 2 miles in total, but we're coming down here. It's been a really good hike so far. The rocks are slick, but it's a beautiful sunny day. Kind of going across this little stream here. Yeah, we're making good progress. How you feeling, Connor?
Rocks are real slick. It's beautiful, but you guys about lost me 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
already.
It's a little slippery, but it's nice though. Definitely a lot of humidity up here. See if we can get a good view of these little cascades up here. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is really pretty. This is some high elevation water right here. So I'm gonna sit here for a sec, get a sip of water, and then keep moving. So we'll check in a second. All right, we're not too far from when I last checked in, but big tree down right there. Trail's gotten a lot better, wouldn't you say, Connor?
Yeah, sorry for pushing that over. I got really upset.
It's not as slippery. We're kind of more into the dirt here. Rhododendron's blooming nice. There's a ton of nice wildflowers out. So yeah, we're going good here. Connor's gonna grab this big dead rhododendron bush and haul it to camp for firewood, which is gonna be nice. And we're gonna get moving here. But yeah, rhododendron still coming in. Honestly, got a really good bloom this year. I'm super happy with it. Last year was kind of saw like 5 flowers bloom the entire time, but this year it's been popping pretty good. So yeah, just gonna keep hiking here. I honestly don't even know how much farther we have to go, but we'll get there when we get there. So see you in a little bit. All right, we've arrived at campsite 68. This place looks awesome. Really small though. I'm gonna assume this is an 8-person site, which it shouldn't be, because there's like, what do we see here, boys? Like 1, maybe 2 good tent sites. So that's about it. So if you see anyone else staying here, don't book it. Yeah, there might be more to the campsite down here. Never been here before, so. But as you can see, that water slide's pretty cool. If you're looking for a campsite that involves some swimming, this is definitely the place to go. Anything down there? There might be one. No.
I wouldn't.
Not to camp, but there's some good water down there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and call this and say there's one good tent site here. So that, I don't know. Anyway, we're at 68. Looks awesome. Definitely putting this one on the list. So yeah, gonna keep banging out some miles here and we'll check in soon. Our set rhododendron is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Wow, look, it literally blew from here all the way up to the other side.
All right, made it down to campsite 69, which is just down the ridge. from 68. Another really nice campsite, definitely a lot more spacious here. It's got a good fire ring, water access, bare cables, all the usual stuff. Honestly though, I mean, still again really only seeing like 1 maybe 2 good tent sites here. So these are pretty tight campsites, so just kind of bear that in mind. It's right about 4,000 feet, so it's not far from the trailhead at all. So yeah, another nice site. We're gonna keep on trekking here, and we'll check in probably when we get to one of these creek crossings that we have coming up. Looking forward to those. So talk to you here in a sec. This has been some great trail to hike. Not really sure what this is. Obviously man-made, some kind of, probably something left over from when there was a lot of logging going on through here. But this has been a really nice trail so far. So we're moving along at a pretty good pace here. We're approaching the 7-mile mark. So just gonna keep trekking here, and we'll talk soon. Got a ton of the fan club moss here. One of my favorite plants. Really pretty. It's a whole forest of it. Another creek crossing here. I think these are going to start to become more and more frequent as we make our way down the trail. I know I read in my little book last night that there might be a couple we have to take the shoes off for. Oh, look at that, Connor.
What?
Big old crawfish.
Where?
I don't know if the camera can see that.
Oh, did he burrow in there?
No, he's still down there. The crawfish, I missed the crawfish. But yeah, doing this creek crossing, we're gonna keep it moving along. We're making a really good pace right now, so just gonna keep moving, and we'll check in here pretty soon. Down into the dip.
What was he talking to you guys about? Maybe an 8 up now?
Yeah, that was a big one. Same idea.
Creek crossing, getting a little wider, but a really nice area right here with a little waterfall over there. I mean, that's just beautiful. So pretty. Rhododendron is just blooming like crazy. It's so pretty. We're making good progress here though, so I'll keep checking in as we move along.
Which I did pack myself 2 Arnie pieces of this trip, bro.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's probably weighing down there.
That's 2 pounds right there, boss.
Yeah, it is. I had one for dinner and one for dinner.
Let's go.
That burger with the card is 89 cents.
Can't beat that. Boys, you might want to take them off.
I just walked across the creek super slowly, took off my shoes, and then I made it like right there, and I dropped my shoes and socks in the water. So I might as well just walk across. But that's life.
You made the smart decision. Just didn't pay off.
Oh no!
Now my right foot's soaked.
Now we all have wet feet.
It's sunny. It'll dry. All right. Let's filter some water. You just fill it up and you just squeeze it in. Kind of roll it back down. All right, we made it to campsite 69 very shortly after our last break. This one looks pretty nice, honestly. I'm kind of going to check out this upper section here. Looks really solid though. Nice little flat area. Oh yeah. This is great. Looks like there's one fire ring up here.
There's a lot of broken glass up here.
Is there? Yeah. No bear cables up on this upper section, but this would definitely be where I would choose to camp. Looks like a lot of mostly flat tent sites. Still a little hilly through here, but here we go, kind of down into the lower section, which is directly off the trail, which is something I don't really like too much. But honestly, I don't think this trail, or at least this section of it, is ever going to be super crowded. But yeah, we got 2 fire rings down here and a couple more good tent sites. Looks like right back here might be the only set of bear cables. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, there's a good tent site there. You could definitely pitch one down here, and then there's one right there as well. So pretty nice campsite. I don't know exactly how much farther we have to go, but I'd say we're well over halfway there. So gonna keep moving here, and we'll check in probably when we get to camp 70 and show you what that one looks like.
Don't throw it in case I don't catch it, because then
You'll catch it.
Thank you. What's that? That's all right. Yeah, you're good.
All right, Connor spotted some nice trout in this pool, so we're gonna
see if we can get them, but I'm not entirely convinced that I'm gonna get them stimulated with the dry fly.
We're gonna see what we can do. So I'm gonna set the tripod up and see if we can see if Connor can get him a fish.
Sometimes you hit the water hard, you can like trigger like a reaction.
This bag is like legitimately 10 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we made it. The last clip, it was probably of us getting dumped on. We got rained on pretty hard there for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. It wasn't bad. Anyway, we're at 71 and wow, this place is amazing. It's huge, really big, really flat, and it's got this, which is pretty neat. I'm guessing this is like some kind of old logging camp. I read something about it in my book before I got here, but this is pretty cool. An old chimney. People have clearly been having some fires in here, which I'm gonna guess is probably not allowed, but this place is awesome. Really cool, really neat. So yeah, I guess now all we have to do is just kind of pick out what fire ring we want to set up over by. Oh my goodness, a butterfly party right here. Well, that's neat. I'll have to tell Connor about that. He's gonna love that. But yeah, just amazing site. So yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the boys, see where we want to get set up, and I'll check in here in just a second. All right, I think we've decided on this front and center spot here because I want to see the chimney and all that. We got some bear cables there, so yeah, this is awesome. This is a really nice site. I'm eating some raspberries we found. They're like perfect. So I go over here and we have our junction here, which is we're going to be taking this way out tomorrow morning. Honestly, really chill hike in here. Wasn't difficult at all. Pretty easy miles, mostly either downhill or flat, mostly downhill, but yeah, so here's our junction, and then this is kind of the rest of the camp here. There are like 3 like very spacious fire rings here, tons of room. I can't remember how many sites or how many spots this site has rather, but I know it's quite a few, and that makes a lot of sense because there's just so much room here. I don't really think there's anything too crazy back this way, but yeah, this is awesome. This is a super cool site. And I like the chimney there too. That's really neat. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep exploring a little bit, and we'll check in once we're getting set up and everything, which shouldn't be too much longer. So talk to you then. All right, it's raining again. We're in the tents. Kind of waiting it out. It's probably been going for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, maybe a little less. So yeah, just kind of hanging out. Connor got stuck up there, so I am, yeah. Connor, say something to the camera.
I was too late. I didn't make it.
He didn't make it back to his tent in time, so we're just gonna wait this out. I doubt it's gonna last too much longer, so yeah, just gonna chill. We'll check in soon. Alrighty, it's about 7 o'clock. We got out of the tent probably a little less than an hour ago. Would have gotten a fire going, and Connor's drying off his shoes and stuff, so we got this rolling pretty good. Yeah, plan is to just kind of hang out and chill the rest of the night. Hopefully we don't get any more rain. According to the forecast that I got from Shelby, we should be in the clear. So yeah, it rained a lot though. It rained pretty hard for an hour and then stopped for a second and then picked right back up. The creek is like super surged right now. I'm honestly really starting to be thankful that we took the way that we did and we didn't go out the way that we came in. Although it should be back to normal-ish levels by tomorrow. I imagine some of those creek crossings we just did are just got a heck of a lot harder. You can take a look at the creek here. It's all murky and brown. It's washed out. So yeah, I'm gonna collect some wood here. Just want to do a quick update, and we'll probably make some food soon, and hopefully I remember to check in. But yeah, talk to you soon. All right, it's currently I think a little before 8. Forgot to record dinner yet again. Seems to be a common theme, but yeah, we're just kind of chilling by the fire. It's dying out right now, but we'll get some more wood on her here, and yeah, just kind of hanging out for now. The skies look fairly clear. Haven't gotten rained on since our last check-in. Hoping it stays that way. Just from the forecast update I got, it doesn't look like it's gonna rain much tonight at all. If it does, it'll be like 3-4 a.m. Hoping for a dry day tomorrow, but you know, if we have to go back home soaking wet, then we'll do that. But yeah, just kind of hang out by the fire and finish out the night here. I may check in again before bed, I may not, but I'll either see you then or in the morning, and we'll get to hiking. So talk to you soon. All right, folks, hopefully you can see me okay. Got the red light on in the tent, but it's about midnight, so we had honestly a really great time just hanging out by the fire, talking, eating some snacks and desserts and things like that after dinner. It's been a really great trip so far. We didn't get rained on anymore, which is a huge plus. So yeah, getting ready to head to bed. I'm super tired. I think we're planning on waking up about 7 with a plan to be packed up and starting our first steps on the trail by 8 a.m. So yeah, it's been a great trip so far. Really glad we avoided any additional rain. We got plenty of that, so hopefully we can stay dry tomorrow too. But you know, you can only get lucky so many times in a row. I've had a very rainy backpacking season this year, which has been unfortunate, but you know, it's all fun in its own way. So yeah, checking out for tonight. We'll see you first thing in the morning. I'll try to check in when I wake up and definitely be kind of documenting some of our travels back. So yeah, good night. We'll see you in the morning. All right, good morning. It's a little after 7. We're just trying to pack up and get out of here.
got a long-ish day of hiking ahead of us. Just want to be back home by reasonable time. So we're gonna get rolling here. I'm gonna start packing up the tent and maybe find a little something to eat before we hit trail, and then we're gonna get rolling. So yeah, let's break this thing down. All right, it's just after 8, so we stuck to the plan. We're gonna get heading out here. We got some serious miles to chug, so we're gonna get moving. It's pretty much all uphill to get up to Kauai, and then we're gonna head out and get some food. So I guess we'll probably do some check-ins along the way. But how you guys feeling? Drier than I did yesterday. I'm feeling pretty good.
All right, Brad, you feeling good?
Feeling good.
All right, cool. Well, we're gonna get moving, so I'll talk to you when I talk to you. We just left the campsite, but found some interesting stuff. There's a ditch with a bathtub and a bunch of metal in it. Not really sure what's going on there. And there's these like troughs with pipes in it and stuff. No idea, but kind of interesting. Clearly was some kind of a logging camp or something back in the day. So anyway, back to hiking. Got some chicken in the woods down there. Let's go. It's harvesting time. I'm not gonna get that, but I'm looking forward to getting some soon. That's the first I've seen all year, so neat. We're moving along here at about half a mile, so got a long way to go, but we're trekking. Very rainforesty from Smokies to be today. All right, we're about halfway up. We just got dumped on for what, boys, like an hour and a half?
Yeah, 2 hours probably.
Yeah, we just got completely dumped on for a while, but we got beautiful blue skies now. I apologize if the camera's foggy or watery. I have absolutely nothing to dry it off with, but yeah, it's been a really good hike so far. Honestly, I feel like the elevation's been pretty well spread out, so it hasn't felt too. The first like mile was definitely the worst. I think we got like 700 feet in that first mile, but outside of that, been a pretty steady up. So yeah, we're checking along. Hopefully we're gonna run into some water soon because we're all getting a little low, but one way or another we'll survive. So we'll check in hopefully when we find a stream. Wow, this is a spectacle. Got this crazy amount of, wow. And look at this tree, man. Dang, it's dead. That is a huge, I think this is an oak. Wow, man.
Your volume button.
This has got to be old growth.
No doubt.
I wonder why all these mushrooms like it so much.
I don't know.
Look at these rhododendron flowers down here too. It's so beautiful.
Sitting on the mushrooms.
Well, that's pretty.
That is very pretty.
We're making our way along, doing good. So just wanted to check in and show this real quick, but wow, so cool. Back to hiking. All right, we're back in the high elevation Fraser Fir Forest. We're on approach to Andrews Bald. We should be getting really close. So I'll check in there next, but just kind of wanted to show off some of this really pretty forest. All right, made it to Andrews Bowl. Unfortunately, our view is mostly blocked, but we got some good sights here. Just gonna hang out here for a few minutes and then finish up. So I'll check in when we get back to the car probably, but it's been a great hike so far. That was definitely a pretty tough up, but we're done with the hard part. So talk to you soon. All right, we're all done. Back at Clingman's Dome. It's nice and cool and windy up here. Feels great. The rest of the hike was good. Definitely a push there at the end, but we got beautiful views. How we feeling, boys? Connor?
Excellent. I can do it again.
Ready for another?
All right.
That's not true.
Yeah, we're gonna head to Allen Cave and bang that up. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's great. We're gonna head back and get some food, and I'll kind of debrief the trip back when I get home and kind of talk over some other stuff. But yeah, it's been an awesome trip. Great time. Great weather today. Not really today or yesterday, but good weather right now. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, back home, getting all the gear dried out. It was pretty wet on the way back today. So yeah, that was a great trip. It's one of my favorite backpacking trips I've been on in a while. It was awesome. The hiking was great. That was all new trail for me. I've never done either of the, I guess we technically went on 3 trails on that trip. Never done any of them. It was great. Really like lush. It's very evident there was a lot of activity going on in that area. You know, when there was logging, and I actually just found out when we got back that our campsite was a former kind of base camp for the CCC, which is the Civilian Conservation Corps, which I learned was a New Deal program to kind of put like young men to work doing conservation related tasks in the Smokies. So I'm not sure. I would guess by the time they were there, it was probably a national park already, but it makes a lot of sense with the stuff around there, that the big chimney and the bathhouse that was there, and the bathtub, of course, that we saw laying in that ditch. So I think that's really cool. I'm not really huge into like the anthropology side of the Smokies, and the history side in general, but that's something I learned that I think is really interesting, and it makes sense. I mean, it's a really good spot. You got a lot of access to the different parts of the park there. So that was really cool. I would have loved to see what that looked like in the heyday, but yeah, really awesome campsite. Would definitely recommend going there. The trails were great. The climb out was tough. I mean, it was, you know, about a mile of elevation gain over 10 miles. So it was steep. Honestly, the rain was nice though. It cooled it off, made it a lot easier for us. I'm definitely glad it stopped before we got back to the car, because that would have been rough. But it was a really good trip. I had a wonderful time. I think we all learned a little bit for sure in terms of dealing with rain and just learning about those trails in general too. The water crossings are definitely something to note. There were a couple of them that you're gonna have to take your shoes and socks off for, and I imagine I would have been curious to know what they looked like on our way back. The creek, you know, they recede to their normal levels pretty quickly after a big rain, but I imagine they would have been a little higher, and a couple of them were a little sketchy coming down there. So after a big rainstorm or something, I would definitely steer clear of the Forney Creek Trail, especially going down that far, just because there is some water that could cause you some problems there. But great food. Luckily, the weather didn't really get in our way too bad. I mean, it rained for a couple hours when we got to camp, and then while we were hiking, but as long as it's not raining when I'm setting up camp and when I'm packing up camp, that's fine. I'll take whatever else it needs to give me. It's been a really rainy season for me this year so far. I know East Tennessee has recorded like more rainfall just at this point in the year than they did last year. And that was as of like a month ago, actually. So it's been a really wet year here in East Tennessee, which is fine. I'm okay with that, but it is a little annoying to have to dry out literally everything that I own after a backpacking trip. So overall though, it was great. I had a wonderful time. The hike out today, the weather ended up being really good for most of it. And you know, I mean, like I said, it was really steep, but it was very gradual. So there were like 2 points where you're really climbing. Most of it though was, you know, a relatively steady up. So that was nice, and obviously great views. You know, once you break that 5,000 foot mark, you're kind of on a ridge line. You got double-sided views. It's beautiful. So great hike. I think everyone had a really good time. Definitely looking forward to getting back out there. So I'll see you in the next video.